Okay, thought I, following the trailer for Downsizing, a social satire in which a man realises he would have a better life if he were to shrink himself to 5 inches tall, allowing him to live in wealth and splendour, according to IMDb anyway. I like the idea, and there's plenty of scope for visual gags. Hell, The Incredible Shrinking Man, made back in 1957, featured some incredible visual sights, and everybody loves Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, I thought, this could be pretty good. And secretly, I was hoping for a scene where Jason Bourne fights off a bird or a cat using a pair of scissors or a pin in an epically tiny fight. Jason Bourne does not fight off a cat, or bird, or indeed any other kind of animal with any kind of improvised weapon. He doesn't fight anything, or indeed do anything. Stuff just sort of happens to him. He shrinks because he's in money trouble and thinks that this will solve it. He meets Christoph Waltz and sets the plot in motion about an hour into this 2-hour film because Waltz won't stop throwing parties. Other characters basically kidnap him in order to beat over our heads whatever very important point that their scene is making. If Damon had been replaced with a confused face taped to a pot plant, I don't think anything would change. He's supposed to be the everyman, but he comes across as no one. And as for the satire, it seems to have shrunk to a point where I couldn't see it. The film tried to have a subtle message, but I have no idea what the message was, as there were so many to choose from. Do you want to feel guilty about global warming, mass consumption, white privilege, liberal guilt, irredeemable women, redeemable men, or from the gut-busting humour inherent in a Vietnamese refugee speaking in pidgin English? Yeah, the main female lead speaks pidgin English and is supposed to be the heart of the film, but she comes across as a really bossy Mother Teresa who I wouldn't be able to tolerate for more than 5 minutes. And she comes with yet another interesting idea. Governments forcibly downsizing people who they wish to lock away at a reduced cost. And since the process is irreversible, it would be incredible to follow her journey from activist to prisoner to 5 inches tall against her will, with all of the psychological damage that would entail. As well as the legal, moral and ethical debates fighting the economic and political arguments. Small prisoners cost less, easier to secure, and capable of causing less damage should they escape, to say nothing of the economic impact of this procedure. With so many people downsizing, so are house prices, economic opportunities, and resentment between big and little people is growing. Also, only people who have removable and no implants can downsize. A hip replacement would remain normal size and kill the downsizer, meaning that they would be trapped as friends and family downsize without them. But nope. The film mentions each of these issues in maybe 5 lines of dialogue, some just as background news broadcasts, and then just goes on its merry way. You could make trading cards out of the wasted opportunities in this film. Another issue is that 95% of the time, people are only interacting with people of their own size. And whilst I wasn't expecting Damon to drink out of a thimble or use a matchbox as a table or anything else the borrowers might do, without things to remind us of their size, then this just becomes another film about people in an idyllic gated community with slums just outside and yada yada yada. Without a sense of scale, this film loses its uniqueness. Sadly, this is Paramount's third interesting bomb after Mother and Suburbicon, and as much as I would love more films of this style being made, I can't in good conscience recommend this film. It's too confused, too full of big ideas with neither the time or interest to develop or explore any of them. The main character is dull, uninteresting, and completely irrelevant to the plot. The main female lead is an awkward stereotype, and there's an infinitely more interesting character just slightly to the left in Christoph Waltz, wheeler, dealer, morally questionable Toussaint, who would be far more believable not only at exploring this world and encountering its people, but would also be able to explore the possibilities or conundrums it raises far more effectively. What a waste. Punt this over to Netflix for a TV series, get rid of the Damon character, get it to explore its world, and you could have something incredible. As is, it's if nothing else. If nothing else is on and you absolutely positively have to have a moral message film, then yeah, check this out. Otherwise, just don't bother. But what did you guys think? And would you guys shrink down to 5 inches tall in an irreversible procedure to save the world? Comment below, let me know. I'm Daniel, it's been a dunking. If you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe.